Hello, family. This is Deborah Yah with Black Education TV. I'm going to be talking about death, the great equalizer. Because we know that in life, there is no equality. There's nothing but division, hatred, chaos, fighting, murder, all kinds of things happen as a result of things not being equal. We have poverty. We have the super rich and we have the super poor. There's so much that happens when you live in a world where there is no equality. Well, I'm not really going to be talking about whether or not there's equality or not as far as life, but death, the great equalizer. For in death we know that everyone becomes equal. From the moment you take your last breath, you become equal to everyone else who has taken their last breath. Meaning everything that you were on this earth, or everything that you would ever be, has ceased. There's nothing more here on this earth. Now, as far as the life after, I'm not going to really get into that because there is an afterlife for those who pass on. Okay, there is an afterlife. And where you spend eternity has a lot to do with how you spent your life on this earth. Okay? A lot of people are going to be proud residents of hellfire. I've heard people say things, I feel like they're saying it in a joking manner, almost as if they don't believe hell exists. And they'll say things like, I'll meet you in hell. Or I can't wait to get to hell. They say things like that because in their minds they're really mocking the Most High. They don't believe hell exists, but wait and see. But basically, the reason why I'm talking about death being the great equalizer is because a person who is about to die, all of a sudden, everything that they ever owned, everything they ever accomplished, everything they ever spoke, everything they ever did, all of a sudden doesn't matter to them. I doubt very seriously if a person that's approaching death and they know that they're about to die, I doubt very seriously if they are thinking about what's going to be for dinner later on. I know that sounds kind of foolish, but someone who is about to die doesn't care what dinner is going to look like today. They don't care what's playing at the movie theater. A person who is about to die does not care about any sale that's going on at any retail market, because this person knows that this is it. This is the end game for them until the afterlife and wherever they're going to spend eternity. But with death being the great equalizer, I don't care if you're super rich or you're super poor. The super rich or the super poor don't care about any of the nonsense that those that are living care about. As a matter of fact, many of them wish that they had more time. Now, we do have some people that are foolish enough and wicked enough to take certain things to the grave with them. Like I've heard, you'll have a person who's racist who can't stand people of other races who will say things like, you should have let me die rather than to use his blood or her organ. You have some people who are that full of hatred to where they will get right at death's door and still have that stuff in them. Okay? And then you'll have some people who have done some shameful things in their life who will go right to the grave never having repented of those things because they wanted to save face for people, but they didn't think about eternity. One thing that people fail to realize in this walk, in this life, is that at the moment of death, I'm pretty sure that so many thoughts flood the mind of the person who is at death's door. So many thoughts. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. What if? How? So many different things flood their minds. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the angel of death, or the spirit of death. It does not care how pretty you are. You cannot bargain with death. When death is at your door, you cannot bargain. When that assignment is being carried out, when the angel of death has been unleashed on you, is not going to say, well, oh, she's too pretty to die. Oh, this one is too young to die. Oh, this one is too smart to die. Or this one is too strong to die. Death doesn't care. Death is the great equalizer. It doesn't care about your money. It doesn't care about how many friends you have, how famous you are. It doesn't care about how angry you are. Because when death comes, it's there to carry out a job. The scripture says that it's once appointed unto man to die, then after death, judgment. The reason why I tackled this issue today is because so many people are living their lives haphazardly. They're not considering tomorrow. They're not thinking about the legacy they're leaving behind, whether it's good or bad. Many people are living their lives as if they have all the time in the world to get things right and to get things together. But they're not preparing their soul for what is to come. I know that we've been taught that death is the end. No, death is not the end, because your life here on earth is just a vapor. Here today, gone tomorrow. You get a short time here on earth. But eternity is the life that we are not tending to. Where will you spend eternity? So many focus on the woes of this life, or the joys of this life, or the foolishness of this life. The focus remains on those things, but your life after is completely ignored. We sit back, we plan, we gallivant around, we grope around in the noonday, we talk, we deceive, we mock, we hate, we kill, we destroy, we do so many things in this life with no thought for the life that comes after. It is for this reason that many exit this life totally unprepared for the life after. Death, being the great equalizer, does not bargain with anyone. When your appointment comes, you have no choice but to surrender. And so my plea to anyone who hears this video is to make some solid decisions with your life while the blood is running warm in your vein. Those of you who have been governed by things other than the truth, those of you who have allowed lies to just permeate throughout your body and your mind, those of you who have allowed hatred to build up in your hearts to the point where you carry out deeds that you know are not right, no matter how big or how small. Those of you who have allowed deception to enter into your mind, those of you who have deceived your own selves, created and believed your own lies, my plea to you is to reel your mind in. Bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Most High Yah. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'm hoping and praying that those who have the ear to hear will hear what the Ruach is saying to the assembly. Because whether you are a bishop, a pastor, a preacher, a teacher, a layman, a laywoman, a usher, someone who sings in the choir, a child, a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, a police officer, a judge, a fireman, it doesn't matter what you are. Death is the great equalizer. And so the question is, where will you spend eternity? Shalom, family.